Hi, Lisa. How are you?
I'm good, Greg. Nice to meet you officially.
Pleasure here. I dare say the title, World's Toughest Race, that's almost an understatement. Just from what you see, I mean, I probably would have gone and then turned right around. But okay, I'm
Yeah,
good. But no, I mean, it's just fascinating to see what these people did.
yeah, and the fact that they persevere through these tough, incredibly tough challenges is just extraordinary to watch. And
And what,
like it's hard for us even to do one of the legs, let alone they're doing it nonstop for 24 hours over 9 days over 11 days, and then they can't go at night to take a shower. It's
oh,
just
geez.
really so
Right.
hard.
I agree with you because I kept thinking, we could sometimes complain if we have to produce a piece, just outside in a park where you've got to go from one end of the park to the other. And I'm looking at this going, man, oh man. But I mean, you love this type of stuff. What is it about the action that really just pulled you right in?
Oh, I absolutely love it. I love the athletes, and I just think that they're such extraordinary humans. The fact that they test themselves it makes me it inspires me on a regular basis. And so exactly what you just said. Some days when you have a really tough day, I think about what the athletes did in a 24-hour period of time during the Eco Challenge Fiji race, and then I'm like, Lisa, come on, get yourself together. What they did, and it's all ages too. The playing field is 18-year-olds to 68-year-old 68-year-old man with Alzheimer's, so it's like if they can overcome really tough obstacles, so can everyone else. I think it's just really inspiring.
Right. Because I got to talk to Mark and his son. And as it turns out, Mark is from Detroit.
He is, I know. I was going to tell you that.
Yeah. So, he said that. I'm going, oh, this is great. But you're right. He's an absolute inspiration, especially considering, what's going on with him in his life. So,
Yeah.
good for him. And it seems like, and each team they all have a backstory that is
Mhm.
just so unique and different where you're cheering for everybody really when you're watching it.
Yeah, and I think the audience, like everyone, we have such a massive global audience. It's a very global audience, 200 different countries, all ages, and so I think the audience, there's a team that they can really see themselves in and root for, whether you're an 18-year-old or a 68-year-old, whatever color your skin is, whatever your background is, whatever your native language is. There is such an incredibly diverse cast, of athletes, that everyone has something they can see themselves in any of the athletes, and I think it'd be inspired.
No, and you're absolutely right because when I was watching it, yeah, certain things one team would do, you'd go, oh, okay, that's like you said, something I would do. Then the other team does something. It's like, hey, that's the same thing I would do as well. But loved watching it and look forward to even more. Lisa, thank you very much. And whenever you come up with a show called World's Easiest Race, I'm your guy.
I will give you a call.
All right, sounds good. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much.
Hey, Greg.
How are you?
Good.
Good,
How are you?
good to see you, Travis. Good to see you too, Mark.
Hey, Greg, nice to see you.
All right.
I'm a Detroit guy.
That's it, man. Right here at home.
Actually, I grew up in Livonia, Michigan,
Oh,
my
wow.
entire life. Yeah, spent a lot of time in Detroit and loved the place. And I'm glad to see you here.
Oh, fantastic. Glad to see you too, my fellow Detroiter. This is great. So
Yeah,
now I guess I know which team I'm going to be cheering for. But you two, father and son. And Travis, tell us a little bit because this obviously is a very special journey for both you and your dad.
Yeah, it is having the opportunity to get out there and do this race with my dad really is a once in a lifetime priceless experience. Dad and I have both been lucky enough to race all over the world throughout the years. Dad did 8 of those first eco challenges in the late 90s and early 2000s. And at that time, I was a teenager. So I was watching these on TV and hearing stories from Dad and Marshall Ulrich and some of these other people who did all those races. And for many years, just thinking, I want to do this race. I want to do the Eco Challenge. And by the time I got out of college and, was really ready to do such an event, it had fizzled out because Burnett and his team moved on to Survivor and some of the other productions. And when it finally came back 18 years later, and Dad and I had the chance to do it together, we got super excited. It's a ton of work. It's really hard just to get to the starting line. We knew we were dealing with some uncertainty as far as having Alzheimer's along as a fifth teammate. But we knew whatever happened, it was going to be worth it. And we were just psyched to be out there. And it was an incredible experience.
I was going to say, it looked like it. And I was going to say, Mark, what got you involved with doing this stuff a while back? Because as Travis said, hey, you've been doing it for a while.
I've been doing it for an awful long while. I can't, I did the first Eco Challenge in Moab, Utah. And when was that? That was
95, maybe?
Yeah, 1995. And, I got invited by Marshall Ulrich, who's he's one of the best guys in the business. And he asked me to race with him on that first race. And I didn't know what it was. He didn't know what it was either. Nobody knew what it was or what it was going to be. And we spent Marshall and I spent that whole race lost, didn't know where we were or most of the time. But we learned a lot over the years. And, now we're the old guys and have done more races, more Eco Challenge races than anybody in the world. And, it's all been great. I love every second of it, and just happy to be able to continue on now with these races, even though it didn't look good. But I keep on trying.
You just keep on fighting. My mom had the same thing, so I know, and it's great to see you, doing your thing, and that's what you got to do. Just enjoy as much as we all can together. Father and son, thank you both so very, very much for your time. And my fellow Detroiter, great to see you.
Great to see you too. Thank you very much.
All right. Have a good one. You guys too. People are calling right now because they want to find out about this show. As you can hear the phone in the background. Dash and Nash, good to see you both.
Hello, Greg.
Yeah, super stoked. Hi.
Now I have to ask, of course, twin sisters, whose idea was it to get involved in this in the first place?
Yeah. Well, we were looking at each other and be like, can I say it was just me? Well, she's the team captain, just saying she was the first person who had this initial conversation with the race organizers. But the moment we read about it, it was an instant yes. Not because of anything, but we knew that this was the first time a team from India was being represented in the eco race. And, I feel like this is one story that will truly, stick out with all the developing world, much of South Asia, in terms of how much they can relate to a team coming from this part of the world. So for us, it was really a matter of great opportunity to represent our team and take that challenge head on. It was it was both our idea.
So at either time, if either of you got mad at the other one, you could both look at each other and say, this was your idea.
True that. And I can do that even now. That was your idea. Yes.
And tell me a little bit.
That is correct.
Even with the training, what did you have to do just to get ready for this? Because I was worn out myself just watching you guys do this stuff.
Why? Just like people who will witness us do things in the eco race, I can tell you all that there was not a single discipline, in the water that we were, prepared for. We had just basic training pre-eco race, 4 days, 5 days, if I was to throw out the numbers, which was not enough and I guess sufficient for eco challenge. But the only thing that I think worked in our favor was the two other guys who were competing, because this was not an individual effort. It was about the team. So I think Eco Challenge has been designed beautifully to, kind of bring the team effort to play, and it was in full display during the race as well, where our core competency in the areas that we are good in, is complemented by others. And the team was deliberately put together the way it was because we all were good in different disciplines, different aspects of the race, and that kind of was a binding force. And our strength during the race to even think about doing those race goals. I mean, honestly, if I was there alone, I would do 0.1% of what I did in Eco Challenge Fiji. But because it was a team, we are human beings. Psychologically, alone is a stress. Together, we can endure far more stresses on the race course than we can otherwise. So for me, I would say that team really helped, balance the unpreparedness, inadequacies in training to performing the way we did in the eco race.
Well, fantastic. I was going to say you both did great things out there and was cheering for you all the way. And so enjoy. You two take care and have fun.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Gentlemen, how are you?
Great. That's great.
Good to see you both. Name of your team is the Onyx team, correct?
Yes, sir.
That's why I'm wearing this for you today.
Woo-hoo.
I don't know if you can see it, but
Appreciate it.
oh, you got it. Now, I've talked to everybody about it. It looks like you had a lot of fun, but man, Clifton, tell me about the hard work that goes into doing something like this.
There's tons of hard work, and fortunately, we've got an amazing team of great people and athletes that were willing to put in that work. I think one of the things that was probably one of the hardest that I didn't foresee was just really putting the team together, finding 3 other, people of color and African Americans that were willing to take on this challenge and do something this crazy.
I know that was great, hearing about all the people on your team, like you said, African American team, also, other groups, are all part of it. Tell me a little bit about that, Corey.
Yeah. So for me, this is just extremely important to also highlight the LGBTQ plus community, because I want to break down that stereotype that, we're sitting at home baking cupcakes all day or whatever. Like, we want to be out in the wild, getting dirty, doing extreme things. And so, I just thought it was really awesome when Cliff asked me to be on the team. And I think I said yes pretty quickly. But then I was like, oh, well, now I have to learn all these things that I didn't know I ever wanted to learn. And so, it's just that sense of adventure.
Yeah, I was going to say, a lot of times when people think, oh, it's like going camping, we'll also be on the water, just like in our canoe or something like that. No, this is treacherous stuff, Clifton. I mean, just seeing some of even the weather that was going on for you guys, it's like, oh my goodness, I just go home.
No, that wasn't an option. Like I said, we had a great team. Corey, is really understated, but he's a professional athlete. He's an ultra trail runner for the North Face. And so we have a great group of people that not only understood that this wasn't going to be a camping trip, but this was probably going to push them further than they had ever been pushed before.
Right. And like you said, you've got to have that type of endurance and that type of will and, just to keep you going, right, Corey? I mean, it's like, you can't just go, day 2, I'm out.
Yeah. No, you have to just be able to push through even when you may not have the food you need or the water you need. You still have to have that desire to want to go and not let your teammates down. And we had an amazing team of people that all stepped up and just did their part to prepare. So yeah, it was awesome.
Well, fantastic, gentlemen. Great talking to both of you. Continue to go, Team Onyx out there. All right.
Thank you.
You guys too. Take it easy and see you soon.
All right. Sounds good.
Hello, Emma and Albert. How are you both?
Perfect. A lot of heat here in Spain, but with good clothing.
Fantastic. Now, the one thing I noticed, especially about this competition, is that there were a lot of family members, families, fathers, sons, daughters, husband, wives. What was it about that just made it so special with you guys getting involved?
Well, in fact, we are not brothers.
Oh, no. No, I said brothers, sisters, everybody else. No.
But in fact, well, we know each other from many, many years. So the team members really are a family. But our relatives, well, in fact, my husband was our assistant, and all our kids. I have 3, Albert has 4, then Yuka has 2, and Fran has 3. So with only the 40 members, we can build a soccer team with our kids, so it's easy. But they were following us. David was the only one that was following us, and the other ones were suffering. The other wives and the kids. Let's see. But now we have an opportunity to see these chapters in Amazon Prime Video, and it's unpayable. So it's amazing to have this chance to see us and our family and relatives to see us how we could be such as mad persons and silly as they will see.
Right. I just have to ask you, Albert. I mean, talk about just getting set for this, the training that you guys had to go through, because somebody might say, "Oh, it looks like a walk in the park." Not even close.
A walk in the
No,
park.
just get out to the mountain and do and enjoy. Always enjoy, because it's something that there's no rhythms, there's no intensity. Just you have to used to be out and easy and adapt. Always adapting to the conditions out there. And if you enjoy it and you love it, it's easy.
And even like with what Albert just said, Emma, some days, of course, it would be nice, nice, I'll just say sunny. Then some days, I mean, you had to fight against the elements as well as the competition.
Yes. I think the life is like this, and also our job, because Albert also is a firefighter like me. We're very used to just when we arrive to a service, when they call us, and we just rush to help the people that have any problem, a car crash, a fire, a forest fire, or even a house fire. We have to adapt and see which is the best solution and how can we manage. So an adventure race, it has one of these ingredients that you have to adapt a lot, and depends on the conditions. Perhaps our river, it was completely different than the river other teams found, because it depends on the daylight, it depends on how the water was growing. So in an adventure race, your experience can be really different from other teams. And in these chapters, we will see that. We will see how the teams had very bad moments in the biking, because it was really muddy. We had some such problems, but perhaps only during 10 hours. And some teams, they've been more than 20 hours with the mud in their bike. So, and this is really challenging. And each team could have his own adventure in the same island, in the same race, but completely different.
Right. I would say very fascinating to watch. Emma, Albert, thank you both so much for your time. Great seeing you. And hey, look forward to watching the show again.
Thank you.